To my white brothers and sisters, I'm not politically correct. I tell it like it is. When I hear someone say go back to your country, it's always from a white person directed at a black or brown person. But that makes no sense because our ancestors weren't from here, and we stole this land, and we're still colonizing it. And when I hear black and indigenous and people of color talk about reparations, I hear a white person in the background yelling reverse racism. But that makes no sense because white people have never been and are not being oppressed based on their race. So white people, I have a question. Why are you so afraid of losing your position in society? Why are you so afraid of losing the comfort that white supremacy has given you? Why are you so afraid of actual equality? Learn up.
White calling out is white folks and asking them this very important question. And I need you guys to listen to this video and let's hear what exactly he was saying. And he said, when you feel like because you are white and white privilege, white, narratives that they are the owner of the land and you're telling all the people, other race, especially the black folks, to go back to their land. And this guy is saying, in the first place, does this land that you belong to, that you are staying, does it belong to you? That got me thinking. I'm like, oh, really? That's a very brilliant question because if you don't know history, that's when you begin to sell sort of narratives to people and begin to say some, stuff, junks. But if you know truly what history says, and now the white folks came into land, into places, and now they took over, you'll be telling people to go back to their country because you yourself, where you are, is not your country. And that's what this white folks is saying. And it's calling out these white folks. And it's so beautiful. Well, before I say more things, let's go listen out to more videos that I've put together for you guys. And please watch it to the end. And when I come back, we shall begin the conversation around this interesting topic. White folks calling out on white folks. And he said, just shut up your mouth. This land does not even belong to you in the first place. Credit belongs to the original creator of the various stitches and videos I'll be showing you in this episode. And I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Every economic problem that we're facing in this country right now, student loan debt being just out of control, the government shutdown, SNAP benefits being cut, health insurance premiums about to go through the roof, your rent going up, your pay stagnating, groceries just being astronomical, is because reparations were never paid after the Civil War. Let me explain. After the Civil War, the Union, the North won and the South was defeated, but the South was never punished. The Confederacy lived on in the ideology of the people, of the white people of the South. Reparations were never paid to Black Americans. They were never really truly given the opportunity to pick themselves up by their bootstraps, to rise up and become equal members of this country, equal citizens. They've been fighting for their equality since then. They've never actually truly achieved it. So when white people hear a promise from Donald Trump et al. That we're going to run the country like a business, to them that sounds appealing. They're like, oh yeah, because you know what? I'm a business owner. I own this country because I'm white. When Black and brown people hear, well, we're going to run the country, run the government like a business, they understand what that means because they've been dealing with it for centuries. White people think that they are on the side of the owners, the masters, but they're not. Most white people have more in common with the Black and brown people that they look down upon. They are closer to them in the economic tax bracket than they are to the white billionaires whose asses they kiss. But listen to them glazing billionaires, especially on this app. I make $50,000 a year, but I have more in common with Jeff Bezos than I do with George Floyd. Bullshit! The only reason the lie of let's run this country like a business appealed to you is because you thought you would benefit. And now here you are. Now here you are understanding that when they say we're going to run this country like a business, that means they're going to profit off of your ass. That means that if you take $100,000 loan out to go to college, you will be in debt to the federal government until the day you fucking die. You borrowed 100 grand, prepare to repay 300 grand. Because they're running the government like a business now. And guess what? You're a customer, not an owner. The government exists to serve us, not to profit off of us. And we will continue to have these problems until y'all get your fucking minds right.
White people, let's talk about it. Let's talk about our violence. White violence. No more deflecting. No more blaming everything on everybody else. Let's confront ourselves. White people in America, our history is so extremely violent. And instead of confronting that, we continue to blame other people for the issues and the problems in this country, instead of just taking ownership of our part to play in everything, which is a huge part. Can we stop scapegoating other groups of people, please, and just look at ourselves? White people, it's time to talk about it. Like, it's long past time. Getting rid of other groups of people in this country is not going to make this country better. It's not going to make your life better. It's not going to make you better. I think white people are so scared to talk about race and to talk about white violence and white supremacy because they don't want to connect themselves to it. We don't want to feel like we're a part of the problem. But unless you're acknowledging the reality of how the US, this country, runs, you are a part of the problem. I truly believe in my heart, in my soul, that if you're born a white person in this country or on this planet, but I'll just speak about this country, part of that journey is to dismantle systems that have been built to oppress other people. The hard work of life is to confront yourself. How do I benefit from the way that things are? And how does my benefiting from those things harm other people? And instead of walking around with, 1,000-pound bag of shame on your back, consider it your responsibility to do that work. Consider it an opportunity that you are in the best possible position to make this world a better place by not accepting racist and prejudiced and oppressive systems for what they are and trying to contribute to changing them. Use the privilege that you have for good. I don't think that anybody can ever really love themselves without being honest about themselves, without being honest with themselves. And that work is painful and hard, but it's so worth it. White people, you don't have to consciously think that you're better than other people in order to contribute to harm against them. All it takes to contribute to harm is to stay silent and disengaged. White people, can we finally get this shit right? Can we finally take accountability? Can we finally look ourselves in the mirror and decide that this isn't good enough? We're not doing a good enough job. You aren't losing because somebody else is safe and cared for. You aren't losing because somebody different than you exists. White people, let's talk about it. Let's start having these conversations with ourselves and with each other. It's time.
White people did not exist before 1681. I'm going to break out my whiteboard for this one. In the 17th century, in the Maryland and Virginia British colonies, there were freed people of British and African descent living together, working together, and marrying each other. These people were equally disgruntled with the lack of land opportunities and wealth opportunities that they could have as compared to the elite. The social ladder was very hard to climb. These people became very disgruntled, resulting in Bacon's Rebellion. This was a rebellion that involved people of multiple national origins, including Briton and African, to go against the landholding elite. This posed a major threat to capitalism because the working class was united to overthrow the elite. The colonists decided the best way to conquer these individuals was to divide them. This is a divide and conquer strategy, and it worked. It's still working today in America. The colonists decided to create the labels of race to divide the working class. They said now there's white people who are going to be afforded more privileges and advantages for being white, although they were still at the bottom of that ladder. And there were going to be black people who were stripped of their rights. They weren't allowed to marry white people. They weren't allowed to testify against white people in court. They weren't allowed to have guns. This created a psychological divide and encouraged racism. So now those two groups that were once united are now two groups of people. We have the white working class and the black working class, and then of course the indentured servants and enslaved people at the bottom. Although these white people had more privileges and advantages, there's still this entire social ladder to get the same land, wealth, and opportunity as these people. But now these people are turned onto these people because they're afraid that these people will take away their opportunities. When in fact, it's these people taking away everybody's. See this today. Think about the rural white American working class. They generally are very poor people that are never going to make it to the same degree as the 1%. These people tend to be very racist and are afraid of non-white people taking their jobs. Their minds are focused on other members of the working class because they are racist and think that those people are causing the problems, when it's been these people all along. This is how capitalism is maintained, by dividing the people at the bottom instead of thinking maybe we shouldn't have a ladder in the first place. Maybe we should all just be on the same standing and same ability to have opportunity.
Wow. I mean, I believe that we've listened to a lot of perceptions and views about what people are saying. And it's so refreshing to know that it is actually the white people that are calling out on their white fellow. And they are saying that in the first place, no land is yours. You have no land. Because if you know, truly, most of the white folks that we see today, they came from Europe, they came from everywhere, and because they are white, and of course, because the laws and the constitution that was in existence favor anyone that is white. You can get a land, you can go to school, you can get access to loan, you can do sort of, and that was how all the white folks that you have in America today came. Most of them from Europe, and and they became citizen and all that. And this guy is saying, you tell the people that are in the land that you met that you should go back to the land. He said, you are the hypocrite. You have no land. You have no place. And these are the truth that the white folks needs to begin to hear. Because when you feel that, oh, I'm now stable, I'm in control now, I can see anything, you need to be told the history of where you're coming from, of who you are, and just know that, man, you're not completely in your land. And this is what this guy is saying. And of course, the other guy was also talking about this white, agenda, white narrative, a whiteness, the privilege that the people have. He said, in the real sense, when given the same platform that you have as a white person, the black person also have it, will you really be able to outperform or outshine a black person or other person that is available? Because when you think that, oh, it is a right, it is this, when it happens that you don't have any platform, you don't have any privilege, just like what is happening right in America, people are complaining, they are saying, oh, Trump has done this, Trump has done. Why? Because you are used to having things free. And this is exactly what is what folks are saying, that who made you think that you're better off? And they are calling out their white people that if you think that you are better off, let all the privileges, let all the platforms and all the stuff that you have be taken away, and let's see how you can do well on a pure, neutral ground, being given to everybody. And of course, this is a very sincere question. I'm saying this, I'm sharing this video so that everybody can listen to this video, and whoever you are, honestly give your opinion. What do you think? Do you think if everybody's given the same privilege, do you think if you are white, you'd be better off than anybody? And of course, if you are black, what do you think? Where do you think you would be? I want your conversation. I want your view. This is very interesting, and for there's no doubt about the fact that there's white supremacy, white agenda, and all of. There's no doubt, but we are saying that if everybody is given an equal opportunity, what's going to become of everybody? Let all the white tea people respond because this is interesting. I need your opinions. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for for watching till the end. I want your conversations, please. Let me know what you think will happen to you. Until I come your way again, remain in peace, remain in love, and avoid trouble. Bye for now.